Okay, hopefully you can hear me clear. So a lot of people feel like tonality is complicated, and it can get complicated. However, it's really easy to come up with quick chord progressions because there's a lot of features in it that have made that very simple, and you don't have to be super musical. If you hit the little three dashes right there, you see initially we start with an empty 4x4, but you can add in scale chords. And so we're going to do triads. You can do sevenths, ninths, all that good stuff. I kind of shown this before, but or at least I thought I did. But if you hit, let's just pick a scale. Let's pick C. We'll start with C just to show you the basics. And we'll do C major. Then we'll hit the word create. Now these chords are technically, we read left to right. So everything's from left to right in the order they would fall in the scale, right? So there's 7 chords generally in most scales on the major and minor. And these are the 7 basic chords. So there you go, C major. If it's capital, it's major. If it's lowercase, the M is minor, right? Or if it's like in this case, it's a diminished chord, D-I-M. So there's your chords. And you say, well, musically, all right, I can play these. What chords should I use together? Well, some of it's by ear, but there is some theory to it, and I get it. Most people don't understand theory. But I'll put it to you like this. The 1-4-5, what we mean by 1-4-5 is the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. That is standard blues. They use it in rock. They use it in pop music. That's typical stuff. One of the cool things about tonality is if you hit the 3 arrows here, you'll see there's inspiration chord progressions. There's a 2-5-1. That is for jazz. Generally, you would see it in jazz. I think some gospel may use it too. There's a 1-5-4-6. So when you see a capital letter there, or capital Roman numeral, I should say, that means it is a major chord. If you see a lowercase, it is a minor. So like in this case, the 2-5-1, the 2 would be a minor, the 5 would be a major, and the 1 would be a major. Okay, so that's really where you go from there. So let's go back to our C major scale here of chords. So if I'm going to do a 1-4-5 in a song, now I'm not playing to the rhythm, so you would have to come up with your own rhythm. I'm just showing you the basics of this. So 1, 4, 5. If you want to make it, you know, a little more musical, or maybe do some strumming, there's the strum feature over here. They even make an inversions feature, which we'll talk about later because I'm not sure if he's released that yet. But we'll just go with the basis, what everybody should have. Now, if you hit the chord, but let's say you only want 1 chord to be strummed, but you want the next chord to play. We're gonna use the 1-4-5, right? You want the first chord there. You want the last chord to be this way. So just hold down this. You'll see them shaking, and hit the chord you want. Now it's that way. You can play it musically. Oh, by the way, like a piano. So check this out. Just a little tip. I'm going to make them all this way. So it's not just playing the chord, it's musical now. So it's very musical. It's just how you interpret it or how you want to use it. The fact that you can literally bring up the scale chords, all the chords in the scale, automatically solidifies anything with regards to question of how musical you can be, because a lot of apps just give you buttons to press and you don't really get anything out of that. So you want to get more musical than that? Down here, you'll see the features. If you open it up, if you double tap, you'll see what they actually do. And it tells you hold the button and then press the pad, right? So but if you swipe up, you can also get that. I'm going to put in the bass notes for each chord. So I'm going to hold down the bass note, touch each chord, and it adds a single bass note. Now you can do multiples if you want. So now you have a bass note. Or if you want to use your 4 fingers if you're good. So the thing is super musical, super easy to do. There's way more that you can do than this. This is just giving you something to work with. Perhaps you say, well, it sounds pretty sterile. You could go in. I leave mine on now, the randomized velocity. You can increase the randomized velocity so that when you hit each note, it would vary a little. See, I'm not even playing all the notes. Like I may play, let's say I don't want to play the bass note on this one. I'll play these and then. Guys, I don't know what else to say. That's pretty dang musical for an app that you can play on screen. And you don't even know, let's say, I do, but if you went in here, you didn't know what these chords are, you could still just play what sounds good to you. Because that's what you would do on an app where you're just touching the screen anyway. You don't know, you're just playing notes. One, 6, 4, 5, very much in thousands of songs. 1, 4, 5, of course, blues, rock, thousands of songs. 2, 5, 1, 2, jazz. So it's just music is something you have to study. Let's be honest. You cannot just jump in music and press buttons and say I'm musical. You need, yes, you can do drums and things of that nature, but you need some studying of music. You need to learn some things. So you don't have to be I'm not super smart by any means. But I just take the time to get to know what I'm doing so that I can be more musical at it. There's people that play better than me, of course. There's people that I'm not comparing myself. I'm just getting here learning some of the things that I can do with this app to be musical. There you go. That's it for this video. If you got any questions, you know how it goes. I'm always open to answer. So hit me up. All right.